Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Adventures of the Blind Man. This is me sharing with you some of my experiences after losing my vision. Today's story is about me encountering a snake in my apartment. True story. It's about 4 years post-blindness, and the roommate that I was living with at the time had a multitude of animals in our apartment. They had 10 plus pets. No joke. 2-bedroom apartment, 2 people, 10 plus animals. It was some weird, wacky stuff, boy, I tell you what. Yeah, in our living room, we had 6 parakeets. The only thing is we were lucky if the birds decided to stay in the living room. My roommate would leave their cage open. The birds were at liberty to fly around the apartment as they pleased. So I would encounter some birds at funny times. I'd be in the bathroom taking a leak and birds start flying around. What the fuck? Or sometimes I'd be in the kitchen making a sandwich, whipping together some food. Bird would come flying in. And the funny thing is, the bird had a hard time finding its way out. It'd be running into pots and pans we had hanging from the ceiling, and I felt really crappy because I was laughing my ass off. It made me feel guilty the bird couldn't find its way out, and I'm sitting there laughing. Same thing with my bedroom. Since I had no lights in my bedroom, when I'd be going to bed or go into my room and close the door, it would shut off the light source, and the birds couldn't find their way out. They start flying around, running into the wall, and I felt like crap. I had a hard time finding a light switch because I was laughing so hard. But eventually, find the light switch, open the door, help the bird find the cage again. Again, it made me feel crappy. I was feeling guilty for laughing so hard at their misfortune. But I felt even crappier that we also owned a cat. Yeah, no joke. We had a cat, and because a cat is a natural predator for birds, it was hunting those birds on a regular basis. As a lot of times, the cat would jump from the couch to the entertainment stand and try to jump into the bird's cage. Man, a lot of times it would miss and just run right into the wall, but that cat would just shake it off, get right back up and go right back at it. That cat was determined. He was on a mission from God. I felt even worse sometimes that the cat did catch the birds a few times. Bird would be flying through the air, cat would jump up and grab it with its claws. We'd have to run over, nah, back cat. We'd have to wrestle with the cat and get the bird free. So that made me feel crappy. I can't even imagine what those birds were going through and what they endured. It messed up. The cat was always just hunting those birds. It's even funnier sometimes that the birds would scare the crap out of my friends. I would have people over and I would forget to tell them that bird's cage is open. Watch out for the birds. And birds aren't a scary thing, but when you don't expect them in someone's apartment to come flying at you, it can scare the crap out of you. My friends would be hanging out, minding their business, shooting the shit with me, and a bird would come flying out of nowhere and just dive bomb them. It would jump out of their skin. I felt bad, but again, I was laughing. It scared the crap out of my friends. Now, this is where it comes to our story. My roommate had a ball python, full-grown ball python, pretty good sized snake. It was about 10 feet long. And it was messed up that my roommate fed it live rats. Yeah, feeding it live prey, it made the snake more aggressive, but it was just messed up that sometimes when it was feeding the snake, you could hear those rats screaming for their life. And yeah, it was just some bloody murder shit, man. It was pretty messed up. It was wicked, it was fucking metal, but it was messed up. The thing about that snake is my roommate didn't keep it in an aquarium. I don't know if they just couldn't find an aquarium big enough or they were just weird like that. No aquarium. They let that snake just free roam their bedroom at all times. And the snake was just locked in their bedroom. That's the thing. My roommate made an effort. They tried to keep their door closed and keep the snake locked in at all times, but there's a lot of times that my roommate would be forgetful. They were either tired, they were under the influence of drugs or alcohol, and they were space cadet. They just weren't paying attention, and that door was left open sometimes. That's when I had some encounters with that snake. True story. One time I was home by myself and I went to go use the bathroom. And just like usual, walked up to the toilet, dropped trowel, and I went to go find the toilet seat before I would take a sit. But then, when my hand encountered the toilet seat, that didn't feel right. That doesn't feel like a toilet seat. That's warm and leathery and sweet Jesus, that's a snake. The snake was wrapped around the toilet. That's when I came running out of the bathroom with my pants around my ankles. Good thing I still have my pride intact, but I was screaming like a 12-year-old girl. It scared the crap out of me. So there I am, pacing the hallway back and forth, trying to figure out what to do. Eventually, I just shook myself. God's sakes, man, get yourself together. Slapped myself around, pulled my trousers up, came up with a game plan. Thankfully, my little brother lived in close proximity. So I gave him a call. He showed up and helped me get that snake out of the toilet. Man, at this point, I didn't have to use the bathroom anymore. I was just all shooken up by it. But thankfully, my brother was there to help me get that snake out of the bathroom. Eventually, I could go about my business. It was another time, too, when I found that snake when I was home by myself. I woke up in the morning, was going about my regular routine. Made some coffee, made a bowl of cereal. Poured the cereal, poured the milk, went to go get myself a spoon out of the kitchen drawer. When I opened the drawer, something didn't feel right. There was an obstruction in the way and I couldn't seem to get to the silverware. That's when I realized the snake was in the silverware drawer. Again, I came running out of the kitchen screaming like a 12-year-old girl. Thankfully, I still had my pants on and my pride intact, but I was screaming like a 12-year-old girl. It scared the crap out of me. And I have no idea how the hell that snake managed to get into the kitchen, open the silverware drawer, crawl in there, and then close the drawer behind it. That's fucking talent. That's some kudos to that snake, man. But yeah, thankfully again, I was able to call my little brother. He was able to help me get there and get that snake out of the drawer so I could go about my regular day and my routine. Some weird, wacky stuff, I tell you. Yeah, me and my little brother, still to this day, we actually lost count of how many times that he had to come help me with that snake in situations. Every time we talk about it, we laugh our ass off. Still to this day. Good times, people. Good times. Everybody, thank you for tuning in to The Adventures of the Blind Man. I'm Mark Ellert, and until next time, make good choices, and I'll catch you on the flip side.